Hello everyone, my name's Tanya and the name of my shop is Scribbles in Time, and this is my first YouTube video. I'm a little bit nervous. I think probably the biggest hurdle for me is my accent. I can't stand my accent. It's very southern and I never hear it myself until I watch myself on a video or a recording. So here we go. I would try to fake my accent and speak a little bit more northern, but I can't. So it's not enough that I sound so country bumpkin. If y'all could see how I have rigged my desk, oh, it's something. It is definitely, it looks like it's straight from a barn. I have literally boards running across my desk with all kind of stuff holding my phone up and trying to record. We had gotten a tripod and had all intentions of starting to do this video with a very nice camera that my son has, and for some reason we cannot get the camera to record. It could be a sign, but anyway, we can't get it to record. I'm sorry, y'all. I do have a joking personality. And so we tried to rig my phone up to the tripod for his camera, and that didn't go so well either. So here we are. Anyway, here we go. This is my journal. This is not my first journal. It's just my first video. And I made the journal with using the casing of a World Book Encyclopedia from 1966, which is not that old. It is a little older than me, but not that old. Okay, the measurements of the book, it is around 10 inches by about 7.5. Again, y'all, I'm so sorry for the bad lighting. I know there's shadows. It's just, this is the best I can do for right now. I am going to try to get some type of table clamp. I saw someone post something on one of these sites about a good kind of mount, so I'm going to try to get one, but for right now, this is where we are. It's around maybe 1 2/3, almost 2 inches on the spine, and probably my favorite part of this entire book is this Tim Holtz, I don't even know what you call that, metal plate, maybe? I don't know if you can read it or not, but it says embrace imperfection. I started to put it on there cockeyed, not that much, but just a little bit. But I didn't, because the rabbit is already so whimsical. I think you'll find out as I flip through that my style is definitely very eclectic and definitely imperfect, which we should embrace, right? Okay, so anyway, I use this whimsical rabbit. And he is on some, or I guess he, I'm not sure, but mounted on some burlap with a little bit of ribbon behind it, musical paper, and tulle and lace. And then this is actually a little piece of that cloth that was from the spine of the book. And I just did a little stamp on it. I love to try to use some of the little pieces of the original book just because it seems like the right thing to do. There is burlap on the spine, and there are 2 signatures. And the back of the book is plain, just with the, I guess that would be embossing that's on the original cover. There are 2 charms that are hanging from the middle of the first signature, I believe, and I don't know if you can see that. It's a squirrel and an acorn. The theme of the journal is pretty much nature. I'll tell you now, I did have my mother in mind as I made this journal. I have found that as I make all of my journals, I always try to have someone I care about in mind, as if I'm making it for them. It just, I think, I don't know, it helps to give the book personality, and I feel like I put love in all of my projects, so it just helps me be able to incorporate that love a little bit better. I aim it at someone. So this one, I had my mother in mind as I made it. My mother actually loves owls and hummingbirds, and I do have another journal that has hummingbirds on the front, but for some reason, this journal just I don't know, it just spoke to me as I made it as being my mom. Here we go. As I took the journal or the encyclopedia apart, the first page here stayed in, and I thought it was thick and nice, so I left it in. I did put just a butterfly sticker here. That paper, and then that's some of the burlap that I reinforced the spine, but then I also covered that with burlap. And this is just like a glassine bag with a bird, a little blue bird on it. I'm going to try to get stuff out, but my camera's just rigged up very awkward, so just forgive me if I'm knocking things around. But this is just a little journaling space, and put a little bit of trim up on the top so that you can pull it out like a little pull tab. And then behind this is actually a little tuck spot. I didn't put anything behind there because I wanted the rose to show with the bird, against the bird. I just thought that was a pretty look. But whoever gets the journal can put something back here. This is a tuck spot. And then this page actually has a little tuck spot up top. And this is just a piece of old stationery. I have had that. It's not real old. I've had it for many years, and wish I could remember where I got it from because I would love to get some more now. I never knew I would discover this this hobby and passion, but I did, and now I wish I had some more of that. This is just a little embellishment that I've placed there, and I did use it as a tuck spot. And this, I believe it's a vintage card, and I believe it's a rummy card, but it has the Sly Fox on there. And then this is a type of wine label. My mother doesn't drink wine. I don't know why I use that, other than we've always joked about being Irish. And so for some reason that just, and I say joke because we don't know that we really have any Irish in our blood. I guess I should do the ancestry kit, but we've just always said that we were Irish, whether we are or not. Would love to be. This page has a little butterfly charm on it, and a piece of fabric coming down the side, and I've just stamped some butterflies on, and I did leave this open just in case. Let me see if I can find a pen or something, but I left this open here just in case anybody wants to keep a pen or pencil or something tucked in for their journaling. And then I tucked a page from the original encyclopedia in here because I just thought it had pretty trees, and again, I like to pay tribute to the original book that I've used with the butterfly charm. You flip this over, and I guess decoupage some little rabbits there. And this is another page out of, I don't remember if this is from, yes, I think this is from the encyclopedia. It has flowers on it. Shouldn't have done that so fast, I guess. A piece of stationery, good for journaling. And this is a brown bag, and this is a pocket I've sewn to the front, and there's a little piece of trim going across it with a little card. And it's good journaling space. And there's a little bee. I think that's a little patch. Not sure, I had it in my bag of buttons, and so there it went. Just to add a little bit of eclectic whimsy to the journal. And then this is some fabric ribbon on top of some burlap with a deer stamped. Again, some burlap with a little tag. And this is a pocket, if I could just do this contortionist thing and get my hand in there. There's a little book here with some journaling space in it. And then this is another card. It says the Funny Bunny on it. Love that. I think it's a rummy card. And this flips out as journaling space. And this is a page out of a gardening book about flowers. Just put a little tab on there and folded it in because I thought the picture was too pretty to cut. And this is obviously a paper clip with a Ritz cracker or a Townhouse cracker, I'm not sure which, but some type of little bag. And I've just sewn it into a little pocket, put a little deer on it, and a little journaling space inside in the form of a little book. This is a old piece of stationery. I say old, I've probably had it since I was probably about maybe 15 years old. You'll see an envelope that goes to it further into the journal, but yes, it's probably at least 5 years old. I've had it since I was about 15. Sorry, that was another joke. Yeah, it's probably a good 30 years old. This is the other side of that page there from the gardening book. And I've just made a little pocket across it with a little piece of lace trim. And I've stuck a little card in here with journaling space. It just had a pretty flower on the front. I thought it looked good there. Little piece of, what do they call that? Bric-a-brac. Little trim going down the side. And then this is a little fold out, like a folder. And I live in Georgia, in case you can't tell. And so I put the title from a page of sheet music on here, and it's the Rainy Night in Georgia song. And this is an old postcard with writing on it. It looks like a child's writing to me. Very thin and brittle. And I've just kind of decoupaged some ephemera on there. And on the back side, again, this does not go with the nature theme, but there are some green stamps. I just, again, was thinking of my mother. I can remember as a child us, you know, saving up the green stamps and going and getting a mixer or blender or whatnot, a toaster. This is like a belly band. Put something there. And that's just one of my favorite little phrases. It says she believed she could, so she did. I stamped that on there. And on the inside of this bag is an envelope that I made out of cardstock after I knocked my camera off. Sorry, guys. It's a piece of cardstock, and I just made an envelope out of it with some journaling space in it. Nothing fancy, but I think it's whimsical. And a little journaling space, just a stationery page. And this is a piece of like shipping paper that I have folded up for journaling. And it does have the fabric ribbon coming down the side, and there's a charm of a bird with a deer on it. And that is not a tuck space. You can actually write however you want there. And more journaling space and a stamp of a tree. Over here we do have a tuck spot, and this is just a card with a duck on it. And this is a original postcard. I just thought the flowers, the roses looked so good with the nature theme. And it does have writing on it. And almost my birthday. It's October 15th, 1910. Not my date of birth, but my actual birthday is October 16th, a few years later. And up here we do have that envelope that I was telling you all about that went with that stationery page from when I was younger. I just thought it was such a pretty envelope with the roses on it. And this is a glassine bag that I've put a fox on. Inside of the envelope, I told you all earlier, my mother loves owls. So I put a page out of the encyclopedia that just has pictures of owls. Again, that's just kind of a personal thing for me, but whoever gets the journal can take that out and put whatever they would like in there. Just tuck it back here somewhere. Okay. And that has a charm of a tree. I don't know if you can see that very well. Obviously some pom-pom trim coming down the side. I just think that adds personality when you're looking at a journal from the side profile. I just like the way the pom-pom trim looks. To me, it's eclectic looking. And that ends the first signature. And this is the beginning of the second signature. You can see a little bit of the burlap here because as the owner puts their stuff in there, I tried to leave room for this to fatten up a little bit. But until that time, there's burlap, so that's pleasing to the eye. This has a tuck spot here with a little bit of tulle, a little bit of book pages. I've got an owl vintage rummy card tucked in there. And then this is just a stationery card. Let's see if I can get my hand back here to get the paper clip off. It is just for journaling space. On the other side of the card, I have placed a little bit of fabric with some butterflies stamped on it, just to help add a little zing to that page. This is just a little piece of the page from the encyclopedia. Obviously, you'll see the rest of it in just a moment, but it says nature worship on the top, and I just thought that was, and then nature study right there. A little journaling card. This page is actually, it's some type of scientific notebook. It says Scientific Notebook Company. It was just perfect for journaling in. I did stencil it with a little bit of a chicken wire pattern. It's barely, you can barely see it. It doesn't take away from the journaling space, but it just adds a little bit of character to the page. And then this is a butterfly charm. The ribbon that or the fabric I've sewn down the side as ribbon is a little tuck spot. And then on the back of the page, I've just stenciled a deer. And again, you've heard me say that my mother loves hummingbirds, so it's a little hummingbird touch. And it does have a little bit of Christian text in here, so for me that's important, but it may not be for everyone, and that's to each their own. But this is a little folder, and on this side is a little bit more journaling space. There's a little envelope here, a clasp envelope. Inside of it is a coffee filter pocket that I've put a fox on. It's just plain on the back. And this is a page out of the encyclopedia. It has nuts and walnuts, and again, it's just an odd memory, but I do remember as a little girl, we'd always have walnuts at Christmas, and of course all the different pecans, or pecans as I would say, and almonds. Oh, gracious, I just said pecan on camera. And then this is a library card with a library pocket. And the center of this signature is another page out of that flower gardening book. And I thought it was so pretty to use as the center. And then a piece of kind of a fringy trim coming down it. And then the other side of that envelope, that clasp envelope, has a layaway tag in it with a duck on it. A little bit of journaling space on the back. Let's see if I can get it in there. Contortionist style. There we go. This just has a little singing bird. Journaling space with a flower. This is a butterfly. obviously stamped onto a little piece of muslin. And that is actually on French fry paper from one of our local restaurants. And I was in there and got to talking to the lady that worked there about it and told her what I did, and she brought me a little stack of those, and I've had fun with them. I've sewn some into little pockets and used them. Some I've just put behind things to make, you know, we all love that crinkly sound. But anyway, it's just a little bit of recycling, I guess. This is out of a kid's book. I actually took that off and made a little flip journaling space. And then a little pocket on the top with just a little frilly bag in it. I stamped an acorn up here, and that's just some of the staining from the coffee dyeing. And then this is the other side of that page from the encyclopedia with a little ribbon coming down the side and a charm at the top. And this is the last page. I do have a little button with some fabric underneath it, or some ribbon, and a little corner pocket. Here's another vintage card with an owl. And this is a bag. I know that it looks brown, but it's actually green. No, it's a brown bag, but it's 100% green. With some journaling space on the front, little flowers here on the bottom. Inside of it, made a little booklet. I just thought that little butterfly was so pretty. And there's just some little pages for journaling. There's a butterfly at the top. It does kind of have a sequiny look. And there's a gold tone feather charm and some trim there. There's a better view of that gold tone feather. Just a charm. And then this is a tree, obviously a tree picture, and it is a tuck spot. Somebody can put something in there. Again, the last page of the book did stay in as I disassembled it. I thought it was a good area to write on, so I left it in. And I've clipped an old postcard there. Cannot read the writing, it is so faded, but there is actually writing right there. It says, joy thy twin, something, sunshine, I'm not sure. Anyway, there's journaling space on the back. I believe that's pretty much everything. I really thank you all for watching my video. I know that I stumbled through it pretty poorly, but hopefully I'll get better. I've had fun making the books and hope that you all enjoy them as much as I love them. I do. I love every book as I make it, and for those of you who make them, I think y'all can relate because I can see in your videos how much y'all put into y'all's books. And I appreciate the inspiration that so many of my fellow journalers have given me. And please feel free to leave comments. I'm hoping that you won't be too negative, but I would appreciate any feedback, I guess. Again, my name's Tanya, and my shop name is Scribbles in Time. And thank you again for watching. Be blessed.